Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back for some more Loud Thumbs news with Nick. And I'm Nick. And today is Monday, February 19th. We're going to go over some news. It's what we do. It's what I do. It's why I'm here. We're going to talk about everything from possible demos coming out for some big games here in March, maybe sooner. We got some new letters being thrown at old Sega games. We'll talk about that as well. And we got some big numbers thrown at a brand new taking over the world, killing servers video game called Helldivers 2. We're going to talk about that and more. And we're going to start first here. I want to talk about this Dragon's Dogma game, right? Talked about this a little bit here last week. Well, looks like we might be getting ourselves a demo, y'all. I'm okay with a demo. I like a demo. I like a trial. It really helps you make a decision or fall in love. Whatever the case is, right? But yeah, coming from Video Games Chronicle, Capcom may be preparing to release a Dragon's Dogma 2 demo. According to an update to Dragon's Dogma 2's Steam on Steam's back end, if I can talk here, guys. This was logged in by SteamDB and spotted by Reddit users. The item it added was free on demand package to the game on Valve's marketplace. Now, Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming out March 22nd. Okay, a bunch of twos there. Dragon's Dogma 2 on March 22nd. And I'm excited, man. There's so much cool stuff that this game looks like it's going to do and how large the game seems to be. Took me by surprise. I really did. I'm excited to try it out. I have yet to jump into it. So watch out on the next few weeks, I'd imagine, probably maybe they'll do it when Final Fantasy's demo is over and that game releases to get you hyped for the next game that's coming out in a month or so. Capcom's got to get their punches in somewhere, right? Next, let's talk about this one here. This game, nowhere on my radar. Let me know down in the comments. Skull and Bones on your radar, because it's not on mine. And I think this game is just meh. Right? If I had to give it a review from all the things I've read, people I've heard talk about it, questions I've asked, things I've been answered, it looks meh. A lot of comparisons to it's Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag with all the Assassin's Creed removed and only the ships. That's it. And it's not as good as just the ship battling was in that game. So, a bit of an issue, but Metacritic users, they're reviewing the game as generally unfavorable. Despite claims that it is a quadruple A live service experience, Skull and Bones user Metacritic score has taken a pummel since the pirate ship game was released on Friday, the 16th of February. Based on 222 user scores recorded to date, Skull and Bones user score is still sitting at just a 2.8 out of 10, making it the lowest rated game of 2024 released thus far. And I mean, I'm not surprised. This game took very long time to come out. It looks like it's running on last gen, engines. It doesn't make any logical sense as to how it works. I mean, I even heard something about to get stamina for your ship to go faster, your crew members need to go down and make food, but they're not rowing the ship, right? So why does your crew members need food to make stamina for the ship? They're chucking coal into an engine, maybe? I thought wind would have an effect somehow. Or, maybe just make that something different. Or just don't make it a thing at all. I don't know. I think that's crazy. I think it's ridiculous. It just doesn't fit in a mechanic to me. It's silly. And they're calling it a simulator. Okay. I'll get off my tirade on that one. It's just one of them situations. I'm just okay. Not a game for me, by the way. But if you guys are checking it out and you're liking it, hit me in the comments below. Razz me. Light me up. I don't care. But let's talk games. Down in the comments. Hit me up on there. Moving on. Sony. Boy, did they lose some money. This is the bad news bears. As you know, I reported last week that they don't have the greatest outlook for their next year. Don't expect any Sony games. Expect all this third-party stuff happening, right? So the report states that they lost $10 billion in their financial report after, they shared last week that they're following financials have gone down. Their projected financials have dropped quite a bit. So therefore, so is their stock. While Sony had previously hoped for shipping 25 million PlayStation consoles during its fiscal year, which I had mentioned last week, they had not shipped enough yet. So following the earnings report, Sony share fell 8.4% and closes at 6.5, partly as a result of the revised PS5 sales forecast, but also partly due to the drop in the operating margins in Sony's gaming business to 6% compared to 9% in December in the December quarter of 2022, and 12 to 13% in the years before this. That's half. So, I mean, from 12 to 13 to 6, that's a giant drop. A lot of money lost over there at Sony. Like, right now, I mean, they have some big winners and big things happening, but none of them are like what you would call first party. So I'm interested. Well, what's going to happen here? That's a lot of money to lose and just get out of here with. But it also mentions here that Sony's margins should have been rising during the period instead of falling, given that there are various tailwinds that should have been driving up the margins towards 20%, such as an increase in digital game sales, as well as Sony's PS Plus service, which has a margin of around 50% now. Their revenue on digital sales, add-on content, digital downloads are at an all-time high. It's not acceptable. That's quoted here. Anyway, that's pretty rough. Sony is in a bit of hot water, just a little bit. They're gonna have to get themselves out of it. $10 billion, that's a lot of money for me, but that's probably a drop in the bucket for them. But anyway, I'm not excited for Sony's upcoming year. This is like a Nintendo year for me. It's the first since the podcast, since the channel's been going, probably, because there's so many Nintendo titles coming. There's like 4. I already have Mario RPG, which technically was last year, but I bought it this year. There's Donkey Kong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, coming this weekend for me. There's Luigi's Mansion 2, okay? And then there's Peach. So that's 4. That's 4 games. That's one every quarter, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they're spread out differently. And then you got to remember 1,000 Year Door, Paper Mario. I'll be picking that up too. That's 5. And I'm sure if I thought a little longer and harder and spent more time, I could come up with more. But crazy. Sony, you got to figure it out. Xbox is already saying they're going to put games on your console. And they're going to make the money. I don't know. I mean, PlayStation's leaps and bounds ahead of Xbox right now, so that's not even really a good argument. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk Crazy Taxi, Sega. What is this? AAA, they're calling this thing? I like the sound of this. I like the sound of me getting some AAA Crazy Taxi. Okay? So this is a new report. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm definitely having fun with this news piece, but take it with a grain of salt. A news report in Japan looks at Sega's Sapporo Studio, which was established in 2021, helps to develop various Sega games, and at one point, the president and the senior executive of this company explains the role of his studio has been collaborating on, and he quotes here, "We're responsible for titles such as Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis, and Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage in cooperation with the basis in Tokyo and overseas." Sega Wa explains before bringing up the Crazy Taxi reboot. He says, "We are also participating in the development of AAA titles, including Crazy Taxi," he said. "At present, we don't have any titles developed independently by the studio, but we intend to do so in the future." End quote. So we have a very small quote here that he refers to AAA titles in, and then including Crazy Taxi into that, he says, if they make Crazy Taxi a AAA title, I can only imagine what it would look like. We saw a very quick snippet of it when they announced at the Game Awards, but I can only imagine what that looks like. And in my mind, it's like the most over-the-top, ridiculous, fully fledged out, open world, possibly getting in and out of the taxi. Kind of like, honestly, I'm thinking of like a Like a Dragon game, where you like a GTA, Like a Dragon, Crazy Taxi, where your mission's literally to like drive to a building, get out, and have some kind of a weird quirky conversation with somebody to find the next fares that you need to pick up. Then you got to get back in the car and you got to drive to the next fares as fastly as possible, or as fast as possible, and get out, pick up the fare, or they jump in, or whatever the case is, right? And it's going to be like way over the top, all anime, all like a dragon style, just tongue in cheek, silly, ridiculous. I'm in for that. I'm in for that. But I want to know, you tell me, guys, what is your AAA thoughts of a AAA Crazy Taxi? I love this game when I was younger. I haven't revisited a whole lot. Every once in a while I do play it, but not very often, not even yearly. But I did dig it a lot. I loved the music, and I'm curious. Let me know what you guys think a Crazy Taxi AAA title looks like, because I could go nuts on what I think that thing looks like. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the big one, the one I have been talking about a lot, and I plan on streaming a lot more of this game on the channel, so tune in for that in the future. Helldivers 2. What a weekend this thing had. I mean, it crashed servers, so it had good and bad all kind of combined here. But it is off to a record start stated here on Steam, with the game's concurrent player count now eclipsing that of all PlayStation PC ports combined. Now, I know this number is actually higher than what it was reported on here from VGC, which VGC reported on this yesterday, which would have been on Sunday, about halfway through the day. And they have the numbers down here as 333,827 concurrent PC players on Saturday, according to this. And the peak player count to all PlayStation titles combined was 300,359. Okay, so the one thing in this article it does not state is whether that if you add those numbers together or if they're separate. And I'm thinking you add them together and then that's how you do get the correct number, because it does say that the PC concurrent players were 333 and the PlayStation titles combined is 300,000. So to me, it says the peak player count of all other PlayStation titles. Oh, I see what they're saying. Okay. They totally confused me in that first sentence. I'm talking about like our Horizons, our God of Wars, our Last of Us, all those, right? Those other titles. Okay, they could have tossed in those names there. That would have been a little bit more helpful, because I was a little confused. But anyway, this game peaked at more of like almost 500,000. Like Helldivers 2 was at like 490 some thousand, and they had to stop the servers at right about 500,000, 500,000, which is insane. Awesome, insane. Lots of server issues this weekend. We did a podcast on it. We chatted about the game, had a great time with it. And then all of a sudden, all of our, it's awesome, it's great, we're not having any issues with it, became a huge problem lie, like we jinxed ourselves. But still, it was awesome. I probably got in like 15 or so matches this weekend. It was really great. It's awesome. I can't say, congratulations enough to Arrowhead. They do need to fix the servers. There's 100% truth in that. They are working on that, but it's only going to be, time will tell on that situation. They obviously talk about all that in here. They were working on a fix, and it said that while intended as a fix for players were given the wrong items or experiences at the end of missions, several players were unable to take advantage of this and make good as the game reached server capacity multiple times on Saturday. So they tried to make good multiple different ways to give people stuff, and it just wasn't working because it was so busy. And a secondary article that did come up on this when I was talking and with other people and reading was a lot of people are playing the game and never stopping. Like they're just on the whole time. So since these people are on and they're not getting off, it doesn't give more people a chance to get on. So it's like, it reminds me of the World of Warcraft South Park episode. So, everybody's just sitting there, or they're just like taking a dump in their chair, or just leaving it idle, or they go, what? I don't know. It just, it makes me laugh to think about it. But I don't fall in that group. Like I said, I played about 15 matches over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and maybe like a total of like 5 or 6 hours total, including our stream, which I think our stream was like 3 of those hours. It's a great game. It's fun. It's a ton of fun. Go check it out. Congratulations to Arrowhead. You guys rock. You're killing it over there. Keep killing it. I know everybody's dogging you right now. I'm seeing all the negative, server TikToks, and people can't get in. They're memeing it, and they're using the Curb Your Enthusiasm memes and songs and all. I get it. You know what? Keep on going. You do you. You'll get it done. You'll be all right. you guys know what you're doing. There's no doubt. Like, you made an awesome game. It's just too popular, and that's a good problem to have. It's the way I always look at it. But that's it. That's it for news. I'm done. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks again for tuning in. If you guys like this, hit the thumbs up right there. Hit that. And if you dislike, hit the thumbs down. Hit one of those. Hit one of those right there. And thanks for watching. The biggest thing you can do is help me. Just share, share, share. But remember, I am here daily, live on YouTube. Wait a minute. Yeah, youtube.com/loudthumbs and twitch.tv/loudthumbs. You can check me out live daily here between 5, 6 o'clock Eastern time is when I'm trying to do these. But that's it. I'm out of here. Until next time, you guys out there remember, controllers need exercise too. So keep those thumbs loud.